Overpass to determine who will join SK in the grand finals. FaZe have impressed. Not only did they make NiP sweat on Nuke, now they've proven that they are most definitely a team not to be trifled with on Train. The third map is Overpass, and these two teams have met already in the group stage on this very map. Joining me to understand exactly what that means and what we expect to see is, of course, Yanko YNK Ponovich and Sam Dazed Marine. Gents, this is going to be it. One final map of CS to lock in our grand final. And I want to know what you're thinking. How much, first question, does playing this map against the same team, the same opposition, once already before influence how this is going to go down, Sam? You watched this game. It was an absolute stomp, 16-5. NiP never got going.
Yeah, they didn't get going, and the reason I think it is going to affect it is because of the way NiP lost rounds. They lost rounds because they did get into their executes. They got into their stuff. Like what they wanted to run, they were generally able to do. Alu did stop them a couple times getting early picks, but it really only happened 1 or 2 rounds. It wasn't anything crazy. He definitely didn't play his best game on CT side. We didn't see much of NiP CT side because of the lopsided scoreline. But whenever they got into anything, I mean, they would go through like a beast smoke on Overpass, and they wouldn't check spots, and all the players on FaZe were able to multi-frag. They didn't get any trade kills. They never really got the first kill. Yeah. So the way they lost is what is concerning to me.
And that's a couple of red flags for NiP. However, Yanko, you have indeed an unwavering faith in the Ninjas to take the ticket to the grand final here.
I do, yes. They did lose in this tournament 16-5 to FaZe, but they beat them at Pro League Final 16-7 on the same map, which was also very, very recent. When you look at the map itself, it benefits FaZe to an extent, because if you look at the way they played Nuke, right, a bit gambly, you know, going for blind execute, blind strats pretty much, that can work on a map like Overpass, because the CTs with their aggression, they kind of have to pick a spot where they're going to go. Is it going to be connector / stairs? Is it going to be toilets? Is it going to be long? It's almost impossible to hold everything at the same time. So that way, if FaZe gets like good reads, good calls, which spot to pick, where to, you know, focus the brunt of their attack, then they can get things rolling on the T side as well. Otherwise, I feel that NiP has more structure on the map and will be able to adapt better than FaZe will.
Now, we find ourselves talking about momentum a great deal, Days. I want to know your stance on it. Do you believe that, you know, when we say a team needs momentum, they needs a strong start, there is merit to that?
I think there is, but I think it's generally to like the underdogs. Like for a team like Immortals, if they came in here and, you know, they got crushed by NiP.
Sure.
But had they started well, you know, they started out with a 5-0, winning pistol on that first gun round, we could have seen them, you know, potentially upset NiP or win a map off of them. Instead, they didn't get any momentum going, and being the underdogs, if you don't get the momentum going and you have that, you know, you're not as good of a team.
Sure.
Let's be honest, Immortals isn't as good of a team as NiP right now. Then that's what happens.
So
for a team like NiP, I don't think momentum or losing them the last map is really going to affect them, though.
But I mean, the point Yanko was making is like, so you're talking, you win the pistol, you get those early rounds, you win the first buy. The integral start of the game rounds go your way, and that's where FaZe get the leg up.
It just makes it so much easier to play the rest of the game, right? Because you already have a lot of rounds, especially if you're playing the weaker side. And it's also like winning pistol, if your opponent force buys and loses the round, that means they're going to have a weak first gun round. So that really, that in theory, it's one of the easiest gun rounds you're going to win. And when you're 5-0 up, it also has a psychological effect on your opponent, right? You're thinking, okay, guys, we're 5-0 down, like we need to start winning rounds in whatever means possible. So you're putting a lot of pressure on your opponent as well.
It also changes the way you play T-side extremely, because if you go up 5-0 on a CT-sided map and you're on T, all you're thinking is your head, hey, we just got to get 1 or 2 more rounds. You're not thinking, oh, we got to win a round clean. Yeah. And then, you know, make sure we could keep buying the next round. If you're down 0-5, it's completely different, because if you lose, or you win the round, but you only have 1 alive and you lose the next round.
Best example, SK Train game in the semifinals, 5-0 up, just won the 2 last rounds of the half, and in the end it was exactly what they needed to clinch the win.
And who will clinch the win? That is the question. You boys still standing by your NiP prediction to take this one?
Yes.
Sam? You're like
I can't go back on it now, but I'll be honest, it is anybody's game.
Anybody's game here on the desk.
No idea, Alex.
Well,
you wish you could go back in time, Sam, and change your decision?
I kind of do. Just based off what I saw from NiP on Overpass in the group stage and how they lost, I have zero confidence in it right now.
Hey man, I've been standing by FaZe since the start.
You really have.
I have. So this is it. The dream could be real for me. I never do predictions, but maybe, just maybe, this one could be a successful first. FaZe to take this one, or will it be NiP who join SK in the grand finals? Your players, your casters, and the game is ready. So let's see if Oakland is ready to see just how far this semi-final can go. It's Pansy and Moses to cast through.
Final map is upon us. Overpass is just on the horizon now, and what an incredible series we've had already.
Yeah, I mean, still, that Nuke game is incredible. I mean, it's crazy to think that this series could have been a 2-0 for FaZe, which I don't think anyone really could have predicted coming into this.
Well, apart from Alex. He knew everything.
Yeah, apart from Alex. Well, and then Daze, obviously, if he did travel back in time, probably would have gotten that one right as well.
Glad he went straight to the groups. No further than that.
What an interesting question from Yanko.
I wonder what he was implying.
Yeah. I don't know. But either way, this third map now, this is where it's going to get crazy. This is where you can have, I mean, the aggression that we've been able to see, and the fact, actually, across both maps, I feel like FaZe has been winning more of the duels than NiP has, outside of maybe Forest. The scary thing is, for NiP, that level that Forest has hit, this is the Forest that brings championships. This is the Forest that gets you into finals, so FaZe have to be careful.
They better be. Here we go. We are into this one now. T side is NiP. FaZe on the CT side to start this one off. And already NiP with a bit of a plan in mind, it feels. Get right, got to split the map in half if he can. So he's been playing through Underpass. Can come and support wherever he wants to. And just bring himself through this. And this is nice so far.
No utility on the NiP side. It's all Glock armor. And the tough part is, they're out towards long right now, and if they were to hit this whole way, which it looks like they are, that's a lot of ground to cover without a smoke, without flashbangs, against the USPs, against the P2000s, and it's up. They're going to hit this now. Kerrigan, he's out in the open. This is scary. They're closer than he expects, but that's a nice shot. Oh, going to go for more, but he can't get him.
Finally gets denied, and NiP put down the hammer. 3 kills back-to-back will dominate the site. You've still got Geralt watching the back. So Keo and AZ going to work in from the same spot, but that dink is ferocious. And now one man stands, it's Keo. He does have the kit, but he has nothing else beside him. Nice connection towards Pit there, but now 1v3. Keo looks right. He's got a play to the left and 2 by Toilets, and there it is. Execution style from Exist.
That is a bummer, because Kerrigan with that first kill, it looked like he was going to alleviate a lot of that pressure that was coming from NiP, but what a gutsy play from them, that the longest possible range to attack that bomb site with no utility, and they just storm in. Get right, I mean, perfect flank, but that doesn't really surprise anyone at this point.
No, that's the amazing part. He sets the bar so darn high. But anyway, 1-0 now for NiP. Going back into this phase, going for the Deagle Scout combo, always a great option. Always can work so well on this map. So many possibilities of taking a shot, falling away, taking a shot, falling away. So much viability towards it. So now, look at NiP's approach as well. They know that FaZe love these quirky plays, and they just sat there like, no, we'll wait.
That previous round, I mean, it was kind of cool. You saw like a little bit of an indication Rain wanted to get aggressive. I mean, he was on the pistol round. He was up towards Picnic, up towards Party, and he was at least had some angles to find an early pick, but it didn't happen. So you'll probably see more of that as the gun rounds come out, some of that aggression. Alu just spotting, he's going to be able to fall back. Interesting that Kerrigan's the one with the scout on it at the moment. And he's holding an off angle, waiting for someone to walk into the crosshair. But outside of the scout, I mean, funny to see Kerrigan on it now because Rain was the one who did so much damage with it on Nuke.
Yeah, he was the playmaker there. And to be fair, bringing up Kerrigan again, though, this man is the master of Overpass.
He's had a phenomenal series, hasn't he?
He has, and this was, all the teams he's been in have been seemingly really good at Overpass. Going through time, they always seem very, very diligent. Now, whether or not that's going to translate instantly, yet to be seen. So again, there's plenty of time to see this come into action, and a beautiful play so far from NiP. They need to keep this clean though, 30 seconds left. And you're going to see the little bit of a bite back coming through. Now, Keo's very isolated on this site. He does have armor, so he can do some work here if they just get caught out. NiP shouldn't be, though. That's the thing. They shouldn't be caught out by this, and they're clearing the site well. Molly's used, smokes in. No danger thus far. AZ lurking on the side of the smoke is, however, dangerous. Oh my god, this could be sick. Doesn't hit the shot. There it is. AZ finds Exist. Kerrigan gets Pit, and now we're in a 3v3. No kits, though, means this isn't all that possible, if I'm honest.
Yeah, this is going to have to be some 6 more shots from AZ. He's going to have to do much, much more work. Get Right's brought down a little bit low, but there's the pressure on Catwalk. He swings out. Nice flick from Kerrigan as he gets blind. They've done damage, but no chance of winning it. Freiburg and Force get aggressive from Catwalk or from Sandbags, and they shut things down.
NiP, all you need. Not clean, not that pretty, but it's a round on the board, and you don't let FaZe bite back into this. And again, FaZe you don't want to get them going. We've seen what happens when they get going. They start to do dirty, dirty things. Not yet going to be the case. And we have a Nova. Fit?
Yeah, another Nova.
Why are you like this?
I like it. I mean, it is on the T side. That's a bit weird. Where's he going to take that to?
Hopefully the train of CTs.
I mean, this is, yeah, it's a shame it's not over towards the B-bomb site because that seems to be where all of FaZe are, pushing up, getting aggressive, and this is going to get spotted out by Get Right eventually when they push forward enough. Oh, and he could just make massive amounts of money here.
It's like dollar bills just start appearing in front of him. They have backed away, to be fair, so he won't be fully fed by this point, but the Nova can still find its moment.
Could that be a misbuy?
I hope so, but he bought this before, which makes me wonder.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like he has like a plan for it because these angles are all not very friendly for a shotgun.
You're trying to tell me you can't take long with a Nova?
You cannot pick the longest range to battle with a shotgun. Well, now it's looking good because you can use it to clear out bathrooms in the close corners. But either way, they're not going to take that route. They're just going to push their way fully up long. Get Right is going to be watching their flank, watching behind for anything. And now the shotgun can perhaps do some work. We'll see. Not quite yet. Now he's close up. Now pushing around, misses that initial shot, but he's going to go for more.
What is this, Moses? What is this? And it's working. He gets one. Of course he gets one. He needs to stop doing that. That'd be great, because I'm confused and scared. Freiburg with USPS bails him out. Of course, hopefully he saves the Nova for the next round coming in. We need that back. Freiburg, get on that. But for now, NiP get the first 3 back-to-back. Relatively clean. Not ideal, not perfect, but good money being built up already.
Yeah, but now we have the buy-out of FaZe, and much like most 4th rounds on the CT side, it's not great. I mean, they have good stuff. 3 players are pretty much all set with the M4s with utility, but it's Alu with the AWP, it's Keo, he's got an M4, but only a smoke. They only have 1 kit on Kerrigan, so that's going to be where you want to keep your eye out when the retakes come in. What is Kerrigan's positioning relative to his team?
And Rain could be a big difference maker. Freiburg, what a deny. And again, Freiburg delivers, and Get Right even finds a kill with the MAC-10. That's insult to injury sort of territory here. And now 2 players left reeling off the back of what was just a rather quick hit to the chest.
Yeah, that is a disaster. Rain, it looked like he was going to win that, the initial dink, and he couldn't connect a bullet after that, but Alu missing the shot. The re-peek as well. Sick performance from Freiburg there, holding that push back. And I mean, this is disaster. 4th round, first rifle round. They didn't really have a strong buy to begin with, but all of a sudden losing this, they're going to be on another save, and NiP is going to be up towards 5 before you can even really blink.
And now, I don't know what they can do to hold on to this, and I think the question will be the same with FaZe. It's what do I do to hold on to this? No information, no play, nothing really in this round, and now Kerrigan's going to be fed. That's nice, thank you, Forrest. However, AZ's made a stand, and they're peeking 1 by 1.
No.
What are you doing, NiP? And look at Freiburg, 8 HP, exist. Okay, this has suddenly gotten a little bit more interesting. 40 seconds left. Freiburg and Exist about to walk through here. AZ can completely ruin every piece of this puzzle coming together for NiP. AZ, is it gonna work out for you? Freiburg is about to peek up, and AZ strikes. It's down to Exist in the 1v2, 25 seconds, and he's just watched his team fall victim to an absolute massacre, but he finds one back, but no quick response from Kerrigan. He's seen him though, and there it is. Kerrigan shuts it down, and AZ is an absolute MVP of locking down that B-bomb site.
How has that happened? NiP played that round so perfectly. A 5-on-2, and they patiently wait for the move from FaZe. No one makes it, but instead of hitting something together, I mean, you have to think about it. The worst case scenario that you face is just a 5-on-2 hit onto one of the bomb sites, and they just give up too many individual fights. The trading isn't there. I mean, that's a massive blunder from NiP in this round. It looking like it was going to be extremely scary half already for FaZe, but instead it's the other way. Get Right running right through the Molotov. This might be a little bit more aggressive than FaZe expects, but he decides not to take any advantage over towards sandbags.
And this is where you'll see Get Right so often. It's not exactly an unknown thing, and Keo having a little bit of peak, almost boosting up there, but just going to fall away from it. And keep your eyes on the rest of NiP as well. They're slowly clearing out, making sure no one's pushed up towards Party, just working the way through the map. And, you know, they know that there might be a threat of someone pushed up close. Maybe the purchase isn't ideal. You've got a UMP on Rain, for example, and Alu. So, again, you want to make sure you're not falling apart to quirky plays. Bomb is left incredibly far back, though.
No eyes quite yet for FaZe out towards long. Rain is going to be back there, but NiP, bomb is far, far away. This is looking very similar to pistol round. Get Right in the lurking position. A big hit out towards long is brewing. as well, bathroom control for NiP. So a little bit of mid-round aggression from FaZe as Alu and Rain take a bit more of a powerful stance. They want to find some soon, and it's going to be an execution here pretty quickly.
Alu might try and throw this off, but mate, is this a one and done? Surely this doesn't work out, and the Molly's going to creep towards him ever so slowly, but it doesn't find him. Now Pit's taken down Rain, so that's going to play in Alu even more. He could change so much about this round if he times it right. Karrigan and AZ are completely smoked off. He unleashes, but only finds one. It's falling apart for FaZe here as NiP strike, and they strike with style, but time is of the essence. 8 seconds left, and Keo looks to do it all. That's 2, gets a third, and now in a 1v1 and Forest. Brave as you like, standing out in the open, and Keo wants a bit of it, dancing with danger. He gets the job done. Keo goes above and beyond to save FaZe in this round.
And Karrigan is standing. Did you just get the FaZe up sign to the crowd? Karrigan out of his seat. What a clutch from Kiyoshima. So aggressive when he starts that out. And again, another huge blunder from NiP. Look at this, quickly undo exists. Get right, can't get out of the way. And even more so, Pit trying to take a little bit of a shoulder peek, and Keo wins all of it. He gets fortunate there. There was a shot from Forrest with the off, but trying to fool Forrest of where exactly he's going to peek. And that's some heroics. Now, NiP, they still have the economy low. That's 2 rounds that have come to a one-on-one. They can still reset here, but they have to stop making these mistakes. They have to stop failing at critical moments.
Well, the problem just became the solution there for FaZe. Now, 2 rounds to 3. But NiP hitting a bit of a brick wall. Now Freiburg and Pit going to start taking control. It's a little bit of a different look here for NiP.
This is not the NiP that we've seen throughout this event. I mean, these are huge mistakes to be making. That's a 5-on-2 and now a 4-on-1 they've lost. That should not happen, especially in back-to-back rounds. FaZe is getting a little bit fortunate, but some brilliant individual plays coming out for them. To be fair, that is one of the strengths of this team. I mean, there's never been any doubt of the skill, the talent of the players on this FaZe lineup, and right now it is maximizing here on Overpass.
Absolutely. Now, Keo and AZ will be the 2 players to receive the hit coming their way. Now, there's mollies, there's smokes, but AZ's already shown that he is a bit of a monster here, and the monster strikes again. The damage being dealt. Karrigan's found some play, and NiP leaping into what seems to be the slaughterhouse, and Keo wants a bit of the action, but it's down to Freiburg. No plant in sight, and 2 kills will be all they get that round. FaZe pull themselves now back into this matchup. We've got a game on our hands, 3-3. Beautiful recovery after the pistol, and they are right back in this game.
Yeah, this is now going to test NiP. With all the experience this team has, the core of this lineup, all 4 players, how do you prevent just being tilted after those 2 rounds? This next bye round is going to be so incredibly critical for NiP, because this should be a huge lead for them. At one point, it looked like they would be catapulted to 5-0, and again, maybe even after that next gun round. The execution was so perfect, and they just lose it in the clutch situation. So they've done good things, but they haven't been able to close the rounds out. There's Alu close up. The op is going to fall back and relocate.
Yeah, I love the brave play from Rain then, just pretty much going to the AWPing position, but it actually has cost him his life, which is a problem. This is actually a very costly round now. They lost out on the AWP, they've lost out on an M4, and really, NiP didn't invest much. Now, all right, Forrest has got himself an AWP, don't you do it again. Karrigan, you don't want to jump up there. Going for the bang, doesn't get it. Now you can go through the middle of that, no adjustment to be found. Keo closes, and FaZe extend. Now they get the AWP back, they lose 2 players, maybe a little needlessly, but they get the job done.
Yeah, the big thing is salvaging that AWP. Everything else, they can manage. And NiP not going to call a timeout. Interesting. I thought they might have called. We saw Nuke. They took 2 timeouts very, very quickly on their T side. So here they're holding off on it just a little bit. 5 AK-47s. It'll be interesting to see if they try and pressure bathrooms again and maybe try and catch FaZe in that situation that they did last round. It was just against pistols, but a little over aggressive, and they got caught out eventually. And here's an interesting play. How does Alu play this? What angle does he take?
He has to back away soon. He can't control both of the angles. That's the thing. Normally it's like you stay out as long as you can, but then eventually playground comes into the factor, and he's seen and what? Alu. He's not as crisp as I expected. There's been some incredible shots, don't get me wrong, but he's been missing some that you kind of expect him to hit.
And it's a testament. We heard Day say at the beginning that Alu would have to be incredible in this series if FaZe was going to win. He hasn't been, and they're still in position to take this series away, this semifinal away from NiP.
Now, Alu has to respond accordingly. He doesn't have control anymore. They don't know if they've snuck toward long a little earlier. Actually going to play Rain in towards this. This is actively making moves on CT sides. This could be big, actually. Forest exists, both working their way up toward toilets. Now, Rain's going to be holding close. He could stay there if he wants to, or he can go for more, but surely not. He's going to hear some of this as well. They're not exactly being subtle and long. Freiburg and Pit have the bomb, and he's going to hear everything coming their way. And to be fair, the best part is Rain can just deliver information. No one's coming along. Get ready elsewhere. Alu's already turned to face it. Rain now going to take the 1v1. Actually loses out on that. Exist finds him, but the whole plan has been seen.
Yeah, and Alu's going to be in a tough spot. Now, he jumps up.
Doing?
What is that? I don't think he was expecting the flashbang to come out. Kerrigan, huge job to do, but it looked like he found a gap in the smoke. He may want to go back to that. He is one player towards long. He's going to stop the plan. He's going to buy time for this team to come in, but Forrest trades it off. AZ is up next. How are they going to clear Forrest out? There's the timing. Jumps up. It's a 1-on-2. AZ a 1-on-1. He sees Get Right. No, he doesn't. Get Right capitalizes on it, and NiP does not let that one slip away as well.
Holding on so tightly there, NiP. That came down to a couple of seconds of difference, but now back at it, 4-4 here. Scoreline couldn't get closer between these two teams. They are fighting tooth and nail to get to that final. Bearing in mind, this is the semi-final. This isn't even the grand final yet. That still lays ahead of whoever picks up this matchup right now. Kerrigan and Rain looking for some early action. Kerrigan going to get in towards Underpass, it seems. And Freiburg may be expecting a little bit of this. Maybe playing a little bit more passively. He's got an angle there as well. That is slight, to say the least.
This is getting dicey though. FaZe, with some of this aggression, has found some good opportunities. The op shot that Alu missed earlier, Rain with the delayed aggression on Exist just barely misses that kill, but they're finding the fights they want, the fights that can have success, just not closing them out in certain situations. But it seems like the delayed aggression for FaZe is kind of their game plan. You see Alu and Rain pushed out towards long. Kerrigan's going to be here to chime in with the CZ, a swing across that choke point just to find some information. Now he's going to hear the footsteps. Is he going to be challenged? Flashbang out, he turns from it. There's the shadow, he gets the one kill, he's traded off. Not a bad situation. Alu is up next, can he hit the shot? Oh, the double scope. What movement? That's from Pit.
That was actually really nice. Rain again, though, in an awkward position for them. They should be able to pick it up. Delayed communication, it felt then, but it was handled. Damage dealt, though. This still means that any of these three players left alive are so deadly.
Rain's going to be so frustrated that he had to Famas that round. Dinks Forrest and damaged him down to 8. Pit as well was lined up, and he just couldn't complete that kill. Any other weapon he would have wanted.
That is incredibly frustrating. Now it's Alu. Alu has to step up here. He's got to find something. He did jump, I think, at the wrong time, mistimed it before, went up on those boxes, and again, this sort of hit towards this site has been incredibly prevalent for NiP, and it's been working, but now Alu lays away, and this is not an easy angle to hold, and he's not going to win it. Pit is there, and he has dominated this one, but someone stuck through. It's AZ trying to make a quick play, but this time he can't get it done, and Keo again left to watch as his team falls apart around him.
Yeah, and I mean, another 1-on-4 for Keo, and he's probably thinking, how many of these do I have to win? Gonna go for it here, at least walking up, at least gonna take the initial fight. There's one kill. This time he doesn't have a kit, so he's gotta hurry up. He's gotta go quick, and there might just be too many to find. No utility, and because of the lack of a kit, he just knows he's gotta back away. But NiP, these executions, this strategy towards the A bomb site is winning. FaZe cannot hold this bomb site. It has been exploited time and time again.
And surely, never gets, is this where we see the sick movement coming in? Let's see the, that one back if we could, I don't know if we can, but honestly, some of these bits of plays coming out from NiP, it doesn't look like it's incredibly deep just yet, but it works. That's the thing, this A here, that line of smoke, there has been no answer. Alu's been negated, they're being picked up pretty early, and the rotate, they're just not there. They can't play back into it.
Yeah, and I think you can tell how frustrating it's got to be for Alu. That play, jumping through that wall of smokes to get into that corner, that's a corner that's very obviously used frequently. It's going to be cleared. It's always going to be checked, especially in a 4-on-3, so trying to make a little bit too much of a hero play, at least in my opinion. But, I mean, you could wait for your teammates behind that smoke, but the big thing is FaZe has had some of this aggression at the A bomb site towards bathrooms, towards long. That's where they seem to want to take these fights, and NiP's not giving it to them. So, I mean, that damage of that aggression over towards A, it seems like FaZe, when they fall back into the site, just don't have a great game plan.
Well, if you're NiP, after what happened on Train, you take every single round you get like this, and you run with it. Keep whatever you have going until it doesn't work. Simple as that. Rinse and repeat it. And at the moment, keeping Alu pretty much down in this is great. Keep him away from those high points, because if he gets going on this map, we know what he can do. But Freiburg looking to make some money here. Got the Mac 10 out, going to be running this one through. Alu's just jump spotting towards long. And it's not going to be too surprising that these guys are working their way up. Molly to the close corner, Molly to bank. You've got the money, clear out these corners. Don't let it become a risk. And now AZ trying to flank, but Get Right's in charge of that. He doesn't let that happen. And now, NiP, this is nice from them.
Yeah, the site's taken. Freiburg now, I mean, there's easy way to build up some money if you can get this kill, and no one from FaZe is going to do anything. So the next round is going to be, I mean, this will be interesting. They're going to be right on the edge of whether they can buy or not. And I think they'll choose to buy. Maybe without the head armor, they can get some extra utility.
Yep.
But obviously with NiP at 6, you're kind of, you don't want to let this slip away. You don't want to be giving up rounds for free at this point. So anytime you have a chance to buy, it's going to happen here. The question becomes, what's the adjustment? What's the change? We still haven't seen a pause out of either of these teams. FaZe hasn't paused to change something tactically. NiP didn't pause to center themselves emotionally after those 2 huge losses.
I'm keeping eyes basically towards Alu and Rain. They're the ones that I feel need to find an answer to that A hit. But then again, you know, this is when the momentum goes to the T side, that they can still do whatever they want. They could throw in just a quick B hit. If they really want to just keep them on their toes, it's fine. Go for it. They probably pull it off. Not at the moment. There's 3 players there. Keo has been slowly working up short. But the point being that if you're FaZe, you're looking for answers maybe to a strat that necessarily NiP won't be consistently using. So again, a slow build up, seeing if there's any aggression, anything quirky coming out from FaZe. It's not. FaZe looking for a little bit of something there. Alu's having a little bit of peak, but Rain's just with him, kind of taking a gamble that no one's been slow walking long. We'll have to see how this one actually unfolds.
You can see out of NiP though. I mean, we saw it in previous maps as well. Rounds where they suspect a buy, where they know the economy is low for FaZe, they're taking very, very slow, very cautious, sitting back, not really making any movements until right around the 1-minute marker. I mean, this is to ensure they don't get caught off by any kind of crazy aggression. It also just comes down to running down that utility. There's only 2 smokes left, 2 flashes and a nade. I mean, now thankfully for FaZe, it is on Rain and Alu, who seem to be, it seems like they're going to be under the most pressure with this A hit.
So, point being, Karrigan's here early. We've got Rain pushed up, Alu pushed up. This is, I guess, the answer. This is what they're going to have to come up with. This is what they're going to have to deal with. There's a lot of players about to hit this site, and 30 seconds isn't much time, Moses. This is going to come down to those last couple of seconds to make this count. Smokes come in, nade goes out. And still such a close amount of players about to come pouring in. Karrigan, you better be ready, and he does not want to leave them breathing. He only finds 1. The answers come back in perfectly from Pit, but 10 seconds remain. The bomb's loose, they don't have it to hand yet. Get Right finds the fight, and it all becomes available. 5 seconds, they can't, surely, if they got, they're too late.
I don't think they've got it at all. Oh, just
too late.
Half a second, not even maybe. And Exists, he's gonna get taken down. So close for NiP, but Rain does just enough to delay that plant. Heroics, and you can see NiP not expecting that 3rd player, not expecting Rain to still be there, so the stack from FaZe pays off in the end.
God, that was so close though. That was half a second, maybe a second at most. That was off by, but we said, you know, NiP were leaving that incredibly late. They ran down the clock. That's the risk you take. Simple as that. It's always going to be there.
This cool change as well in the tactic. Actually, hold the thought, because Alu with the shotgun. This could get interesting. This is the range you wanted in Pit, but okay, maybe not.
The Nova Master just says no. If it's not a Nova, he's not going to play ball. But yeah, Rain, Kieran getting a little bit anxious. And look at the angle Get Right's been holding here. Him laying for a couple of shots could have been the problem there, but Kieran going to have to respect that and just fall back a little.
Well, we saw last round a little bit of a change-up. It wasn't a full smoke tactic on that A bomb site. It was basically just walk up long and throw 1 pop flash. So NiP changing up the ways they're attacking this bomb site, keep FaZe on their toes, keep them thinking and guessing about what's going to come. This round is going to be tough again for FaZe. 2 UMPs, a FAMAS left on board. It's Karrigan and Rain this time at the A bomb site who are going to be under the attack.
Karrigan surely won't get away with this. It's just, I can't imagine it working out. And Rain's going to have to just play off whatever Karrigan gets in the form of information. Quick flash comes in, and it's not gone well. Now he's got everyone looking his way, and it's not the attention you want here. Forest and Freiburg do what they need, and now again, it looks like A is theirs.
It seemed like there was some possibility for that. Nice by AZ, sneaking up. There's still smoke in the way. Get Right through it, though. Finds him, and there's Freiburg. Keo tries to jump over. NiP, they're going to grab control of this half, and they're going to grab it convincingly. It's going to be another save for FaZe, as NiP is up by 2 here late in the half.
And this is that sort of control over the economy that NiP just seem to really break back into. So at this point, if you're FaZe, eyes towards the next half as well. Still incredibly viable. Let's remind ourselves, if I'm not mistaken, it was NiP who was able to pick up the, excuse me, it was FaZe. No, it was NiP who picked up the pistol at the start. So again, if it goes the other way, you get the buffer back. It's fine. So for FaZe, Let's see what they can do now. It's down to them to try and make a difference. NiP have done some brilliant work to begin with. They're in such a good position now.
Just imagine what this half would look like if Keo didn't win the 1-on-4, if the 2-on-5 for FaZe did not go their way somehow. But this has been a much more dominant half for NiP than this scoreline suggests.
Very true. We'll wait and see if that echoes throughout the rest of this. As NiP's pacing, it's their approach, it's the way they're playing throughout this map just seems so all-encompassing.
I mean, the tough part for terrorist teams usually on this map is you take damage when you get control of bathrooms. You take damage, you lose players, or use a lot of utility to take control of bathrooms and staircase. NiP really hasn't lost too many players, and at the worst, it's been traded off. So, I mean, FaZe isn't able to slow them down on their march to the bomb site. They're not able to do damage, not able to weaken the attack whatsoever. Here's Forrest just going for more. He's going to keep pushing forward, and he's going to tap with the UMP, and he's going to land it with the last bullet.
Oh, Forrest. You make a UMP look exciting. That is a talent and a half. Now, Kerrigan is just sat here like, all right, well, okay, what can I do? So 30 seconds, time to discuss as well what you can do into those next coming rounds. Well, very few that's left.
I mean, this was the question on the analyst desk was, you know, considering what we saw on this map between these two teams in the group stage, it was a dominant win for FaZe. What can you expect? And it always goes back to that idea of the losing team is always the one to adjust. And I mean, plenty of ways for NiP to look at that match and say, this is what we did wrong, this is what we can do different. Nice tap from Kerrigan. But the interesting thing is, because the win was so dominant for FaZe on this first map, we didn't really get a chance to see the second half, which was going to be NiP on the CT side. So we don't exactly know what to expect.
No, but you can argue again, though, that these two do go back and forth pretty recently on this very map. You know, in Sao Paulo, this was, again, one of the maps that went towards NiP's favor at a 7-16 scoreline. So it's not like, you know, we haven't seen dominant scores either way, but of course, when you looked at that group stage, it even stood out even more because of that going, well, you know, this is a very different display, but 5-8. This is NiP looking very, very good here. So again, the money has just been so dire for FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't strung rounds together in some time. I mean, it's been a 5-1 run in the last 6 for NiP. And that was a hard reset. So a double eco scenario. They'll invest a little bit here. There's Kerrigan with 1 kill with the shotgun. It's traded off. So he's got some information. But this just goes back to what I was just saying. I mean, at the worst, NiP is able to trade these kills off. Keo here is going to be, I think I just spotted Alu. There's Keo. That's a little bit unfortunate because now Exist knows exactly where he is, and he's going hunting. He's going to find it. Now he's ready for Alu to swing around the other corner, and Alu has no idea he's been spotted out.
No, this is devastating as well. It's a complete and utter just falling apart of an idea there. Exist will just hello. All right, Rain. Oh, hello, Rain. That was big, but not big enough here. Unless AZ somehow again does something ridiculous.
Yeah, he's going to have to. We've seen it with the P250. The tough part is, look at the utility. I mean, NiP can throw a Molotov in one choke point, smoke in the other, as you can see. There's no armor. They have another smoke and flashbang still, so I mean, there's just so much going against AZ. It would have to be spectacular. Freiburg is at about half HP, so he's the most exposed. And AZ also with no kit has to go for it. He finds Get Right looking the wrong way, but Freiburg's covering him perfectly. Nice teamwork. 9-5 for NiP, and FaZe, they're looking to just get out of their defensive half with 6.
And finally, it feels like we see a buy. It feels like it's been forever since we've seen a decent buy, and it's not even that good. There's lacking utility everywhere, only 1 kit on Kerrigan. If you're FaZe, this must be so frustrating to consistently go up against, going, well, we know their money's great. We know that they have that brilliant A hit that works. They haven't really found an answer even to that one yet. But here's the aggression. Let's see what we've got Alu here. Early nades and flashes. Instantly push them back.
I mean, that's so smart from NiP, because what they said is, we know they've saved 2 rounds in a row. We know they're going to have an AWP, so use that utility. Oh, and Get Right even catches Kerrigan off guard. We've seen it a couple times. We expected it out of him earlier, but it's Get Right. He chooses the right opportune moment for it. And he gets punished. So even with this great buy, FaZe is going to start at a disadvantage.
It does feel like everything's going wrong. They could have a nice reset on the half here if they come in with that 10-5 against them. Hopefully mentally they can just reset that, because at the moment this is not looking good for them. Alu has to make a difference. Where have you been, Alu? Get this up into the action. You've seen a leg. You know they're coming your way. And he just takes the shoulder peek, needs to back off from this. The flashes come in, but it doesn't mean NiP can just charge off the back of this. We know their pacing can be quite meticulous and slow and build off the back of this, but Alu's going back in.
This might be a little bit of stress of a rough half, going for more, trying to overextend, trying to make a play. Oh, he gets it there. Good reaction on the pit. Is he ready for Freiburg? Not entirely, but he does recover enough to fall back. Using the angles, there's a shot, it misses again, and now he's stuck. There's no way for him to get back now, but he lands it anyways. Freiburg, oh, Alu! He's come alive in this last round. 30 kills for him, and it's just Forrest with an op of his own.
Alu with his back to the wall, comes out swinging, and he closes on it too. Gives FaZe that small ray of light at the end of what was a very dark first half.
Yeah. I mean, so much difficulty for FaZe. They couldn't really slow NiP down. They couldn't keep control of bathrooms. They couldn't deal any damage there or stairs. That was such a tough half for FaZe.
It really was, and recovery is going to be the name of the game for the second half. Whoever closes out, of course, will be joining SK Gaming in those grand finals. So guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back in a second.
Intel Extreme Masters Oakland is brought to you in part by Intel, HyperX, G Fuel, Kingwin, iBuyPower, Best Buy, Totino's, Acer, and Xfinity.
And welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters here in Oakland. We are about to get the final half underway between FaZe and NiP. It has gone the whole way here. And I even wouldn't be surprised with some OT hopefully being thrown in.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to depend on this T side for FaZe. I mean, we saw Train, their T side looked great. We saw Nuke, they were able to put up some rounds as well.
Yeah.
Here on Overpass, I mean, these have been three pretty difficult T maps to function as a terrorist team. So both teams have been performing admirably. Obviously, NiP, that's a huge task though, to beat 9 rounds on a T side. I think if we don't see FaZe winning this pistol round in the second half, I think it's going to be extremely difficult for them to actually outright win in regulation. I think they're going to need that pistol round to get up towards 10 if they want to take this in regulation. If they don't win it, then obviously I think their only real option is overtime.
All right, guys and girls, let's get into this one. The final half, 6-9 now. And look at NiP already, up to no good, up to their old tricks here, pushing Get Right out straight away. This is brave. This is A little bit overzealous. Look at the response instantly from FaZe, but the response comes in from NiP as well.
Yeah, I think the correct term is ballsy from NiP to be able to push out like this. I mean, they have all the info. I mean, you can see they've rotated 3 players back. They're going to have a cheat on it as well, but here comes the execute. Forrest inside the bomb site. So much damage is dealt onto FaZe. Forrest has a shooting gallery. Oh, he gets 2. How is that done? It exists as well.
And it's down to AZ now in a 1v3. Somehow has been left behind, but Forrest, what a moment.
I mean, Forrest, this is the level. This is the level he brings it when he's in this mode. NiP is one of the scariest teams around, and seemingly Forrest is not going to let them drop this 3rd map. Get right down to the left. FaZe finds him. It's a 1-on-3. Surely NiP has lost enough man advantage situations in this map so far.
Don't let him do this. This is just something you can't allow to happen. Now, Pit and Exist need to keep it together here. And AZ's looking for chances. He needs to get one fast, and here comes the fight. He's got 5 bullets, 4 counted down as he fires, looking for the perfect chance to strike. He doesn't get it, and Exist closes it back down.
That worried me when he got the kill on Get Right and it wasn't traded. That scared me a little bit. This is incredible from Forrest. I mean, obviously that's nothing special, but that 1 tap and then the re-peek there from Keo. For him to get 2 kills in that kind of a scenario when he's already used so many bullets, very impressive stuff. Holding down that A bomb site, buying time, but it all comes down to the information play to begin with. That's what allows NiP to have 3 players of that A bomb site. I mean, the push out of Get Right through Monster, and then he just falls back when he sees nothing, and NiP just says, we know everything.
Yeah, it takes, you know, as you said, ballsy play to go for that in such an important moment as well, but no guts, no glory, I guess, is the only way you can put it. So it does work out. Now we'll see if it does echo throughout this half. Looking at what FaZe are coming back in with, smoking a flash with Karrigan, and that's pretty much it. A couple of upgraded pistols, but by all rights, this should be NiP closing down another.
We've seen the deagles of Rain and AZ do work in the past, though, so still some danger here. There is a smoke flash on Karrigan, who is located out towards Long. So we're just waiting at the moment. Rain now has his purge. Is anyone from NiP going to come peek this? AZ as well is just kind of watching the flank. So that deagle, with only 1 smoke and 1 flash on the FaZe side, these deagles have to find a pick. They have to provide the opening.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Let's be honest, these guys are so good with them, but Pit's going to take the fight and wins it. Rain goes down. Now again, a little bit of firepower lost there. Pit again just comes into his own in this, just keeps it under wraps, but the P250 comes in. A little bit of a bark back here, a little bit of bite to the bark that seems to be coming out from those deagles. AZ still stands, and there's always a bit of danger, but Get Right closes the book on FaZe.
And a flying ump. Why not? An 11th round now, and yeah, those deagles just not doing enough work. I mean, a nice shot from Pit at Long to neutralize Rain with his own deagle, but still you can see the danger as they came in. AZ with a very nice shot, just 1 more of those and that bomb site might get cracked open, but it's a buy here. So with that plant and the pistol round, FaZe, a good investment here. They have some utility, they have some different things to work with. Karrigan even going for the UMP just so he can buy the proper amount of nades that he needs. They're gonna have 4 smokes and a Molotov and a couple flashbangs to use in this round.
This is a big round for FaZe as well. It feels like it's been such a long time since we've seen them win a convincing round. We'll have to see how this one goes for them. They need it mentally and, of course, just physically to get it on the board at this point. 6 rounds sitting beside them just simply isn't enough. But here it begins. The slow take. You've got Alu working towards Long. Spots out a player. That was Pit, if I'm not mistaken. And Get Right is still in bathrooms by those toilets. And Forrest is actually pushed up as well. They're not going to give this one up.
I mean, this is sick. Aggression from Forrest, aggression from Pit, and then you have Get Right in the swing position. He can support whoever's taking contact. Whoever has the information, he can rotate between the 2 of them and help them out. And even the opposing player covering his fallback, but Rain, the kill on the Pit, that's huge. They still have Get Right to deal with. They know he's here as well, so he's got to join up with Forrest. Together, they have to fight their way out, and the timing is going to be critical. Alu and Rain pushing up, but it's going to be AZ who finds that kill, and now Forrest is feeling very alone. Are they going to expect him? Karrigan doesn't at least, but he's surrounded. He's going to fight his way out. There goes AZ, and Forrest has shot his exit into this situation.
Yeah, and now with Freiburg coming around, that's support on the bomb as well. This is massive between these 2. Now Rain's going to try and play back in with Alu. Alu's coming up from kind of towards Long, but it's Rain who's the one to make the difference. Finds Forrest, and that's big. And now they're worried maybe there's an additional player, and here he is, shows his head. It's Freiburg. He instantly expects the response there, but he's quickly just left with the bomb, and now Exist knows someone's coming his way, but no one knows where they're coming from, and Exist finds them both! And NiP in the last couple of seconds pull it back together.
Oh, it's such a bummer. Keo, that flank just took so long to come into play, but really, the heroics from Forest here, this is what wins the round. This is what buys time. This is what slows down FaZe. I don't know how he fights his way out of that, but it's so impressive. Obviously, they did not expect that third player to be there. But that's what FaZe couldn't do in the first half on their own CT side. They couldn't cause any damage in bathrooms. They couldn't punish NiP for trying to take that map control. So there you see the stark difference.
Look at Pit, just straight up going in. Has he got anything other than a USPS?
Does not appear so. I mean, this is maybe just saying something where we know they have to save here, and we know if they want to make a comeback, this next buy has got to be very strong, so doubtful he bought anything, or doubtful they bought too much, so I mean, just using the USP.
Well,
plenty of guns to pick up if his teammates die.
Yeah, very true. Absolutely true. But for now, it looks like FaZe certainly posturing towards that B hit. Smokes go up. Smoking almost the line towards the site here. Molly's going as well, just trying to clear out as much as they can before the hit gets in. Now it's Forest this time. When we watched AZ doing this, it was a bit of a display, but Rain's the only one to really just get into this for FaZe. And running through the smoke is not going to help. Forest is landing some good shots here, and they're keeping it clean. And there's the deny. I doubted the USPS. I never will again.
Yeah, why would you do such a thing? Even picks up the AK-47, so don't have to spend any extra money. I mean, I imagine Pit is going to drop that over and get the AWP. And it's looking like that's exactly what occurs. So FaZe now, 6-13. They need to start making a comeback. I mean, really, this is the last opportunity. This is the last chance they have. Alu has an AWP. It's a glass cannon. There's no armor in it. But this is the last chance to get into this game. It's been all NiP, surprisingly, after what we saw in the group stages. But some phenomenal team play, some phenomenal tactics, and Forest, again, another map where he is just dominant.
I've got to say, I've been thoroughly impressed with NiP so far. And Forest, as you highlighted, individually. We saw it start on Nuke. Train was no exception. And now here, as the final piece, as what looks like the NiP puzzle. But there's room for FaZe. But it has to be this round. I don't see it beyond it. I don't see that it's as feasible against this level of NiP. And now Get Right, feeling out the situation here. Gonna back away as Rain does encroach towards his territory. And it's who's quicker on that trigger. And the angle is with Get Right, and as is the frag. Rain falls, and now the response comes in. Alu claiming Forest is a big pickup here. But they don't know about Pit, and they don't have all the information. But this is a rotate. They're not committing at all.
Yeah, and look at Keo. Is he going to pounce here? Now, with that one kill, it pulls some rotates back, obviously, but Keo hasn't pushed in. He's not trying to take this solo. The readjustment from FaZe is aggressive. It's decisive. Exist has got to play far back, but the nades, the utility from NiP is slowing things down. There's no smoke to... What? Keo and AZ both get a kill. That's quick, that's nicely done, and it looks like Pit's just gonna have to save this off. Get Right's too low to do anything. FaZe are gonna get this 7th round.
That's just something you don't see every day. You don't, like, not that angle that Exist was in is such a good angle for holding that cross, but you kind of expect a flash, a smoke, something. No, they just take the straight up fight and they win it out. So they get the bomb down, and they at least get a round on the board here. Something they felt that, I think we've all felt, has been lacking for quite some time. NiP has been leading this one, looking quite dominant, and finally there's a strike back from FaZe.
Finally, I mean, that's the right way to put it. It's been all NiP, it's been 4 straight. The money is still good though. Pit has the MVP obviously, and Get Right will be able to drop over for Forest. So it's gonna be another very, very strong buy for NiP. Get Right, maybe trying to be a menace here right at the end, but doesn't want to lose the weapon, so just hides in the corner.
Okay, 13-7 now. Window of opportunity for FaZe, but it is only a small one. It's not huge. That's a long road back against NiP, who are playing well at the moment. But they break the money, and then maybe it's game on here.
Yeah, I mean, and to do that, you have to win this round. So, I mean, this round is really going to determine if this comeback is actually going to be a possibility. This is kind of the round where if they can't win this, then it's highly unlikely they'll be able to make it back.
Get Right and Pit already looking for info. You've got the boost coming out as well. NiP just don't rest. They don't sit back. They never seem to let the T's want to take all the control. It's like, well, we'll still make some play here. And again, Pit could go for a peek down this. Oh my word, AZ. It's all been revealed, but Pit misses the shot. Maybe just between the legs at that point, but still. A little bit of information kind of passing back and forward between either sides. Now Freiburg can pick up the mantle of watching this, but still, for how long?
That's super cool. Freiburg shot the hole in the wall for Pit to look through, and then he throws the nade that blows it open to allow that pick to even be a possibility.
Yep.
Good presence of mind. I believe that was AZ to just fall away or to shoulder peek and not get caught out by it, but still. A lot of information gathered for NiP, but as well, I mean, with that boost and with the op, I mean, FaZe can be pretty confident there's a decent amount of players over at B, so this is why you're seeing all 5 players towards A. They give up control on the other side of the map. This hit is taking quite some time, though, so Pitt's going to be here at the A bomb site to help out. There's going to be 3 players here, and it's Get Right and Forest, that duo playing together at the exit to bathrooms.
The dastardly duo waits. And look at these angles as well. They are tough to hold, and AZ and Alu will be the ones to test this. Rain and Karrigan are going on long. That's down to someone else. That's down to Pitt. Here we go. Let's see if these two, the classic duo, can do anything with this one. No is a very swift response. FaZe are going to pick up the pace and finally get into these sites. And now Pitt's going to be played in. Spots out the shadow, but he can't do it. Rain, and Rain comes pouring down. Exist and Pitt just get swept aside. And you're left with Freiburg with everything to do.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Pitt had a good spot. And obviously he needs Get Right and Forest to stay alive long enough for him to have that kind of an impact. But nicely done from FaZe to manage that kind of aggression. It looked like for a moment that crossfire between the two was just going to end everything. So FaZe, they've done it. They've reset the economy. Freiburg is going to have this M4 into the next round, barring anything crazy. Doesn't even look like FaZe is interested in the hunt. They want to build up some of their own money. So now it's a possibility. One more economic reset onto NiP and their next buy, and then actually FaZe is going to close this scoreline very quickly.
Yeah, no, this is game back on. This is seriously the reset. That means this game is now incredibly competitive. This is what you're talking about. The hole in the wall is already shot out. The nade comes in. It allows a little bit of a peek there. It's actually a really nice little bit quirky, but it works.
That was a nice transfer from Rain. That was sick. We didn't get to see that one in the round. But yeah, I actually thought he was going to use, I didn't even think they were going to blow that door open. I thought they would just use the hole in that door to be able to just fire right through. But either way, you can see Freiburg, the only weapon, not even investing in additional utility or a kit. All 5 members of NiP sticking together here, taking a bit of a gamble. Can they do anything with it? Nade, spam, and that's unfortunate.
That's just rude, Rain.
Smart.
Just get wrecked. Get absolutely wrecked, Get Right. Not much to be done or said about that one, but Alu's having a bit of a problem here. 3 players encroaching towards him, but Karrigan holds his hand and says everything's okay, as Forrest can only dance in the corner.
Target practice for Rain. Yeah. You don't want him to come alive if you're NiP, if you're an NiP fan. Rain can single-handedly take this over. Smart play, though, knowing that M4 was still alive, being very cautious, the pre-nade, the spam, doing everything he could to neutralize any damage it would do, and it works perfectly. The op is out again in the hands of Pitt. And this time the buy from NiP, I mean, they had some rounds to play with. They could have chosen to save again, but it's not the worst buy in the world, but the utility is going to be a struggle. The utility is going to be tough for them to manage, so you almost feel like they have to get aggressive, and it's going to be downstairs.
Yeah, and Pitt tried to kind of come up towards Party as well, but so many flashes, so much utility got put towards it. He's kind of fallen back towards the stairs now, by the bathroom. Now, as you highlighted, it's Forrest and Get Right going for the duo, so another little bit of an adjustment. And Exist and Freiburg aren't exactly sitting back passively either. They've gone for quite an active take towards a certain area. So they're actually looking to get that map control, get into this game, and will AZ spot all this out? These 2 players wait so patiently and they strike. Forrest finding AZ is a great beginning, but it isn't the end of this round at all. 4 players still stand to FaZe, and they still have so much room to work with.
There's nothing gained by FaZe from that. No one's there to trade. I mean, he wasn't even looking the proper way, so AZ fumbles a little bit there. Pitt's going to be far back with the AWP, and there's no reason for NiP to move out of this position. So how does FaZe do this? They know bathroom control is for NiP. They control the center of the map. They have Keo and Rain basically isolated on each side. They're just going to have to pick somewhere. But the fact that the stairwell is closed off, I mean, Rain has no way to meet up with his teams, and this is just dirty. This isn't even fair. Rain. That's, oh wow, Forrest misses the first shot and he can't complete it. Rain, this would be a huge kill if he's able to win this battle somehow. Brings Forrest a little bit low, down to 42. A long battle, and there it is.
Rain.
How does that happen? The B hit is on now.
Get Right should be able to stop Rain anyway. He should be the last port of call for that. But there you go, there is the shutdown. Freiburg and Pitt being the ones to do it. Now 18 seconds, Alu, what can you do here? Nothing is the response. Exist. Quick on the trigger to stop that from starting, and again that B hit looked like it was just all coming together then.
It was a real possibility, but what a win from Rain here. I mean, it didn't have as much of an impact on the round as I might have thought it did, as Get Right was still in such good position, but I mean that's the problem with FaZe. They actually had 3 players up towards Party, up towards that fountain. Like why not help AZ clear out those stairwells? Why not use the utility to block off Pitt? You can't let NiP control the middle of the map like that for so long.
No, and you can see Rain now has support with AZ as well. They're going together in this one. And Get Right's actually playing a bit of a different angle now. He can only stay out so long because that smoke's going to dissipate. He has to fall back, but a bit of a boost comes through, and it's Pitt to find the first. Keo falls, and now This is starting to look a little bit worse for FaZe. This is going to get a little bit tricky, but they're all going to try and come together towards that A site. They can do that same hit they've been doing before that's worked out well. But Forest and Get Right are waiting, but the playing is very, very passive. And look at the pace FaZe are coming in with.
Yeah, I mean, they have to. They know, I mean, they've tried to do something at B, and actually they spot that out. No one from NiP could get back into the site quick enough, so at least a plan here. Good positioning from AZ. There's the peek. Get Right trying to be a little bit clever. He gets punished for that. Smoke down in the choke point. More coming. Kerrigan's burning. AZ's got to follow. Actually, no, that fire doesn't spread quite yet. Forrest with the angle, though. Oh, what a reaction from Rain. That's sick stuff, and NiP may have to save now.
You've got to respect this eventually. They have almost no utility to work back in. They've got, what, Freiburg smoke, and that's it? You got to just kind of accept your fate here, and Alu's going to just remind you of it, and then some. Freiburg still looking for possibilities, but it is time to run, NiP, run, and AZ kicks him down the stairs, and Pitt's the only one to even stay vaguely alive at this point.
Yeah, and this is another reset. Oh, the op, though? They would love to have this AWP. Kerrigan might just commit to this and just see what he can do in a one-on-one. Pitt he doesn't even want to fight it. He's trying to run as far as he can.
Step away. And he's kept it.
Yep,
he kept it. He just moved towards the left. You can kind of surf up towards a little bit of it, and Kerrigan looked to the other side. So he kept hold of it. 10-14 now is the scoreline. And as said, NiP don't have much to play with here. That AWP could make a difference, but FaZe has it all.
Yeah, the setups that NiP is utilizing over towards the B bomb site with that same boost again, you know, Pitt just watching, this time he's watching short sewers, he gets a pick and that boost is covering his retreat, making sure no one comes out of the door to punish that, and if they do, they just capitalize again. Now, I don't know if FaZe actually spotted that boost, I doubt it, but that might be why they picked up the pace towards that A bomb site, knowing how many people were dedicated to B.
Oh, and Pitt, if he gets his first kill and can back away cleanly, it's pretty important, but how long do you hold this angle? How long do you expect there to be a player? He gets a beautiful shot. Well handled, and now Get Right looking to pick up the gun. Gonna get it. Doesn't actually back away though. He's sticking around here, and his old teammate watches from above.
Well, this got dangerous real quick. Op now in Pitt and an AK and Get Right, and he's got very advanced positioning, not only for a quick flank, but also the information as well. You can see combining with that. On the minimap, Forrest has peeked out towards long and seen absolutely nothing. So you're going to start to see NiP cheating over towards B. Exist is there. Pitt is now here as well. Get Right's going to have a fast flank, and Forrest is on the way.
You can't just peek into this, surely. 3 targets and he hits none, but Exist will find it. Freiburg finds one. What is this? How is this around? Do they get towards match point here? NiP now 1 round away from making it to those grand finals to face off against SK.
NiP is making plays map wide, and FaZe has no idea it's coming. They call a timeout, but it might be too late. But NiP, they just know everything that's coming because of those plays, because of Get Right in that position. He knows no one is in underpass. Because Forrest peeks out towards long, he knows no one is there, and they can cheat everyone. And then with Pitt at this pillar, there's so much distraction going on elsewhere from all the pistols peeking from different angles that he's just, no one can deal with Pitt. There's not enough manpower on the FaZe side.
FaZe, this has got to be gutting. It felt like that was their round to really start, pulling back into this game, but credit again goes to people like, I guess, Freiburg and Exist, who only had pistols, and they still made work happen for themselves in that round. He made themselves very, very relevant, even after the back of what Pitt was achieving. So 10 seconds until the next round starts. What could be the final round between these two? NiP on the verge of closing this one down. Let's see what we have in store here. Double AWP is out to play for NiP. This is big. Forrest and Pitt both picking those up. And FaZe, this is time to do it all. This is your moment to stop this, or you're done for.
Forrest, this is new. They haven't seen this yet. The flashbang comes out, though, forces him away. It's a switch into a double AWP setup for NiP. And AZ, he's been punished a couple times. He's going to be a little bit hesitant to clear this out.
Pitt, waiting to see what's coming his way. To be fair to FaZe, they're taking their time, and they don't need to rush it. They have mollies, they can speed up if required. Pitt's still here, though, and not this time going to be going for that little bit of a peek he had before. Set up by Freiburg, of course, he's going to be backing away in a massive stack towards A, actually.
Yeah, and everyone from FaZe very, very spread out. They don't seem to have a clear idea of where they want to go. The bomb is over towards B, so that, I mean, it seems to be that's kind of their final ending place. Pressuring bathrooms just a little bit, but they don't want to lose anyone, so relatively conservative with that. And now coming down the stairwell, so it is going to be hit over towards the B site. Freiburg just dropping a flash. He's going to play close up, and he's got Pitt behind him to support.
Freiburg and Pit, are you ready for what's about to come your way? Here we go, the smokes are coming in. It is the hit from FaZe. They know what's coming, and Pit's gonna get boosted up. Boost one of you do it. There we go. Freiburg's up and just gets absolutely smashed. AZ not going to let this round slip away, not through those fingertips. He wants this one, and so does the rest of FaZe. They've got the plant down, 5 alive, and still have 2 mollies to lock this one in on. Double AWP retake from here? Not looking likely.
No, it's not. And that, I mean, miscommunication between Pit and Freiburg, obviously, with that boost. Both of them probably calling for it, no one knowing who's going to get up. Trying to clear out waters exists, and this might be over. If they cannot take the control of that position, it's such a difficult retake. And there's Kerrigan and Rain in that pit, and there goes Pith. He's gone. And now, yeah, it's a safe call for NiP. Forrest gonna back away. All they needed last time was an AWP. They can do it again, so still danger for FaZe.
100%. 100%. 11 to 15, though, this could go all the way. We could still go OT. It can go back to that sort of thing we saw in that first map. But FaZe still need more. They need every single round left in this one, and they have to hope and pray that NiP don't pull off one of those rounds like we saw before when it's just ridiculous stuff from... Oh, that was gorgeous. These shots these guys are hitting are just phenomenal. FaZe, win or lose, you've got to say they were on point here. Anyway, let's find out how this goes. They've bought up around what they have left around for NiP, and straight away, Get Right and Pit might be up for some action.
This time, there's a little bit of help of Alu towards this underpass, but no one from NiP really applies too much pressure. Another big round in terms of the economy for NiP. They've got 3 players below $500, so losing this for the Ninjas would allow FaZe to close the gap just a little bit, inch closer towards overtime. They need 4 more in a row, and I'll stack out towards long. It's going to be Pit with that AWP and Get Right as well in the bathrooms.
You can see AZ and Keo slowly encroaching through that underpass. Just taking that map control piece by piece, slowly working into this, not rushing themselves, and keeping themselves cool, calm, and collected. And this is where it could all happen. Alu just claiming Pit so easily.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Pit was swinging out wider, especially considering Get Right had fallen back. So he finds the information he wanted, but it's the wrong type. So he falls. No AWP on the board for Ninjas anymore, and it's actually going to be, it's only 1 player over towards A. Look at this aggression. Again, NiP just say, okay, we lose control of long, let's gain it elsewhere. Let's see what we have, and this is going to be a lot of bodies on a very fast flank coming up this stairwell. At the moment, it's Freiburg leading the way, and he's a couple steps ahead because if he falls, it's going to be a little bit of a bait. Keo spotted it out. He's made the call that Molotov is going to hold back NiP, but AZ's not ready for it. Smoke as well. Keo's got a lot of work to do, and he's in cover in time, but he can't win the fight.
Alu's got time on this, though. Alu can make the difference as well. He's on the flank, too. This is just ridiculous. Round and round we go. 3 players in front of him. He has to do this perfectly. There's the first. There's the second. Alu just needed the third, but it's down to a 2v2 retake, and it looks like FaZe are holding on and exist. Fights with everything he has. He has no kit, so time is of the essence, and Rain knows it. They hold on again. FaZe build another round back into this game.
Nicely done from Ray. Good poise, good shot right at the end. It's Alu on flanking the flankers. Something had to be done because that was smart from NiP. Working as a team to take map control out towards B, and they had 3 players on the flank. That was going to be so incredibly difficult, especially considering Keo loses this battle. That was the scary part.
Yeah.
And especially right at the end, I mean, Exist picks up a kit. If Rain didn't kill him, there was plenty of time. He walked over it just as he was passing to take that duel. So against only pistols, FaZe, another round they just need to hang on. It's going to be a buy in the next one for the Ninjas, as the losing bonus is going to stretch towards 3. And FaZe will be, I mean, they're inching closer now.
Starting to look like OT is pretty likely at this point, at least in my eyes. You know, it could all turn around though. We'll see. We'll see how that gun round comes through in just a moment's time. This should be 13-15, and then it gets exciting. Again, if you're FaZe, keep it clean as possible. Don't lose out on players. Keep that money as robust as you can. And NiP just looking for anything at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're still trying to find information. They're being extremely mobile on the map in terms of, you know, what they're trying to find. And actually, I mean, look at this read. Freiburg and underpass to see no one. Keo's going to be here to watch the flank. Other than that, it's going to be ranged battle. And Freiburg all the timing. He looks away just at the wrong moment. And now leading the way, here come the utility, but there's plenty of players here from NiP to make something happen. FaZe has got to do well.
Oh my
Distracted
God.
at so many different angles. This is possible for NiP, but it turns around right at the end. Kerrigan, AZ, and Keo all getting quick kills. Good round from Keo, 3 kills for him.
I started to believe that that could have gotten more dangerous. When I saw 4 players kind of peeking into that,
I mean,
kind of
Keo watching the flank and then getting aggressive after that first kill kind of really helped that, because that eliminated a couple of the players towards bathroom for NiP. That was really nicely done from Kiyoshima.
well, this is another round. This is the big one for me, at least. NiP have the buy now that they need. FaZe as well, and we're back into the situation. NiP on match point, FaZe trailed by merely 2, but that could change in a blink of an eye. And how, my word, okay, so Get Right and Forest. They're going back to do this. They can boost up towards a little bit of the top of that shelf and hold the angle if they want it, or they can just sit here and hold this. And this is it. NiP, they're not laying back again. They're actively looking for this.
No AWP this time in this round. And again, you could see AZ with the amount of times that he's been pushed and aggressive, he's being very, very cautious. I mean, look at it. That's just like the smallest possible angle you can hold and still get information. Nothing coming quite yet, but I mean, the difficulty is going to come if FaZe wants to push forward towards bathrooms. They're going to have to deal with those players on stairs.
And Pit has to be careful of Long. Again, they've been showing a little bit of presence here, and they are slowly working up it, but Pit can't completely commit towards this. We'll see how this one unfolds. It's literally down to the timing the Forest and Get Right get. Do they get what they want out of this? Can AZ punish it? Again, info, here it is. AZ spots out Forest, gets the tag, but nothing more, but it's Kerrigan to capitalize on it, and now he's chasing for further kills. Get Right, though, responds, and that's the bomb. They've dropped the bomb right next to him. This is big. AZ turns the flash, catches another. This could be all she wrote. Freiburg finds AZ, and it's 3 players left standing for FaZe. They've got to somehow make this count, and Pit is having none of it. Alu and Keo have to save FaZe from this round.
Yeah, and Alu is dinked. It's all on Kiyoshima to at least initiate. And he's on a big flank. There's only 20 seconds left. He's got to hurry up somewhere. There's no way he checks behind these sandbags. It's going to be Exist with the kill. Alu, 10 HP. Ninjas, it looks like they've done it. 15 seconds on the clock. Alu has to just run, and he's not going to do it. Get Right closes it. Ninjas in pajamas will be in the IEM Oakland Grand Finals.
SK Gaming awaits, but NiP, what a performance. Beautiful work to start off the night. Absolutely phenomenal play that we saw on Nuke. It's set up for what was to be a brilliant series. Train showed what FaZe can bring to the plate, though. FaZe, as much as they may not have won this, they have certainly put their name back on the plate.
No, but the improvement in FaZe, you can see it. I mean, there's just some critical issues that need to be worked out in terms of map control. You could see here on Overpass, I mean, too often they struggled to be able to clear out that underpass, that staircase when Get Right and Forest were there. And then even thinking back towards Nuke, the amount of respect and room they gave NiP to work outside. I mean, those are issues that Kerrigan will work on with the team, because those have to be solved. You can't win too many maps if the map is basically cut in half for you.
And as I can see that OJ is trying to convince Freiburg to do the interview, I can only hope he's as, let's say, provocative as he was in the opening interview we saw earlier. So, guys, let's head down to the stage to hear from OJ and Freiburg.
Let's hope so, Lauren. The Totino's post-match interview, that was exhausting to watch. What was it like to play?
I mean, there were so many close rounds. Yeah, it was exhausting to play.
At the end of that final map, did the doubts creep in?
I mean, not really. We knew that like we should just get our money back up and rolling, and there were so many rounds back and forth where they had like so many upper hand rounds where like we just had to save and stuff like that. But I mean, we knew that as soon as we could get our economy up and going, we would lock them down and win at least one more round, which we did.
You were in real fighting form going into this semi-final against FaZe. Big words you said about them. Do you feel the same way after those 3 maps going into the final?
I mean, kinda. I mean, I just wanted to get pumped up before the game. No, nothing bad against FaZe. They're a great team, which they proved in the group station in this game as well. So big props to them for improving so much. But yeah, I mean, we played super bad on Train. I think we lost so many stupid rounds, which we shouldn't have lost. But they're a strong team on Train. But I mean, yeah, they played great.
Those stupid rounds you lost, are they fixable before the final?
I mean, it all comes down to like communication, and sometimes it's so hard to play here on stage where you have like if we use push to talk when we play, but if someone like holds in the mic, we just hear the crowd and we can't hear anything, so it's just chaos in the TeamSpeak. So it's pretty hard.
But what about this crowd, eh?
it's amazing, for sure. I love it.
Right then, so before we end this interview, before we hand it back to the machine, what are you going to say to SK Gaming? They're coming up in the final to win the Intel Extreme Masters 2016 here in Oakland, in front of this crowd. What have you got to say to them?
Come at us.
Come at us. Freiburg, I love talking to you. Put your hands together for Freiburg and the Ninjas in pajamas as they head through to the final, which gets us very close to that. To look through that match, let's hand over to the machine with his beautiful pink nails up on the Xfinity analyst desk.
Thank you very much, OJ. Matching his tie with his laces. Much love to him, the fashionable man. And now we have to appreciate not only Freiburg saying he's going to come at SK, but also the way in which they've done so. 3 maps. My panel here, of course, YNK, Dazed, and a very small Get Right, of course, competing actually at the bottom of the scoreboard for the majority of that series, maybe saving it for that grand finals. So, gentlemen, to understand Overpass, I have to ask you primarily, the main question here is, did you get what you asked for with Alu? You were begging this entire series, Dazed, for an Alu performance, and again, I want to know if you did.
Yeah, I think my 2 key for victories for FaZe was that Kerrigan needed to play well. He did.
Yeah.
But Alu really, really struggled, especially on the CT side. I think we saw it in the last round, the mid-round aggression that he had, he got a 4K, but besides that, his impact was pretty non-existent. He always tried to make a play post smokes coming towards him, and he always got punished. One time he jumped on the plant box, died. One time he pushed through the smoke, died, and he really wasn't able to make an impact. And instead, he needs to make a decision. I think had he gotten that mid-round aggression, maybe post bathrooms control from NiP, they take control and then he aggresses up, he would have had success because they take control, then they fall back and throw smokes, and all those areas are very CT-sided if you push up and crouch up with an op.
Yeah.
Instead, we saw him play back and make bad decisions when it came to that. He should have played full retake when they actually threw the smokes and executed.
NiP, another full team effort. I mean, if you look at that, just 5 frags separating top from bottom, all contributing to that victory, Yanko. The Ninjas do it as expected for you. Was this what you were expecting in Overpass, though, to see a 16-13 FaZe pushing them all the way?
I mean, it's difficult to say like what the score was I expecting. I was expecting NiP to edge FaZe out in the end, but honestly, I was a bit scared for NiP after in that first half. They win the pistol round, they win the 2 anti-eco rounds, and then they make 2 huge mistakes in the 2 following gun rounds. First gun round, they have a 5v2 advantage, and they lose the round because they were spreading around the map instead of just grouping up and pushing together. And then the next round, it's the KO 1v4 after plant, pretty much. Sure, some of the players were not able to move, but that should never happen. And you would, I think that a less experienced team would definitely crumble after that. I mean, for example, Mousesports is known to, when they lose a silly round like that, they just fall off a cliff, they can't come back. But NiP, this is where you see the experience we talk about, the composure, the status of these players. And Get Right, even though he had a maybe perhaps quiet series in general, next gun round, again, AZ is in a 1v3, he gets 2 quick kills, and Get Right just jumps on the plant box, challenges him immediately, wins the 1v1, basically making a statement like, we are not going to lose these rounds anymore. And that starts bringing it back for NiP.
And NiP have made a statement in this series, as have FaZe. Let's take a moment to just reflect upon their performance, given that they are now eliminated from IEM Oakland. It was a semi-final for them. They did actually get there through the group stage. No quarterfinal necessary for them. Now, Sam, we got full 3 maps out of FaZe Clan, and this is the reflection upon that. I think we're going to take a lot away from this. When I said that if they get to the grand final, they plot on the map, you corrected me. You suggest already they have made a big statement of intent.
I absolutely think they have nothing to hang their heads down for. They played really, really well. They showed that they could beat NiP. I mean, they definitely could have won that Overpass game. They definitely could have won on Train as well. So they played great. I think in a couple weeks, maybe a month, if they just improve on a little of these small things, they get a little bit more consistent, and all their players end up showing up. I think and especially Rain, Rain was just amazing. How often do you see someone completely outgun Forrest like that? And just understanding how the engine works, jiggle peeking, making him use his bullets, and then wide peeking at the perfect time. Who can do that to Forrest?
It's a rarity, right?
Yeah, you never see that.
It's just, it's one of those strange player names which we just see at the top of the scoreboard relentlessly. It was 28 on Nuke. I think he had 20 on Train. That was, of course, quite a short game. And then he goes into Overpass and gets 25.
Yeah, and one of the things he does so well is that he gets so many deagle kills also when they eco, and sometimes they don't win the round, but he just cripples the economy of the other team all the time. Every time they're ecoing, he spends $700. It seems like he always gets 1 or 2 kills.
And with those kills done, it wasn't enough to push FaZe over the line, but we do have an opportunity now to look forward towards that grand final that will be coming up on this very broadcast in just a while. Of course, players want to take a bit of a rest. They want to get themselves prepared. They have just played 3 maps, and so we can start just reminding you guys of how on earth we got to this point. We started with 12 teams, 2 groups of 6, and we've whittled it down to just 2. This is what the playoff bracket did look like, and actually we'll start by discussing SK and their route to that grand final. The group stage by no means was pretty, conceding losses to the likes of Heroic, but still managed to stabilize enough to meet G2, and we saw a full 3 maps there. Yanko, the French side, made SK sweat. However, it wasn't enough.
I think it was, you know, the 2 maps that SK did win were pretty one-sided, so it seems like they were, you know, trying to start up the engine, so to speak, and when they started to roll, when they got things going, it was pretty much a walk in the park. We still see the, you know, flaws that the G2 has and that they need to work on.
It does seem like the same story for G2. We'll find, again, just kind of getting to the quarterfinals or getting just into the playoffs and then falling a little short. Sam, to SK picking that one up, you didn't necessarily feel convinced by SK's performance in that one, though. I know you were expecting, you called them shaky, I think was the general consensus.
Yeah, because on Nuke, it was a map that we felt we were going to see throughout the tournament since they, you know, banned Cash. And they didn't perform well on it at all. You know, I think strategically speaking, they didn't do a good job. They, Rain was surprising them all the time at outside during, you know, when they played against FaZe. And I didn't like how they rotated when Lower was taken. So it was very, very shaky from them. But then on Dust 2 and Train, they absolutely annihilated G2, just crushed them.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have a feeling they might leave Nuke in, or sorry, take Nuke out and play a different map though.
Yeah, I think we'll be definitely coming to that when we do get to vetoes. However, it was not so much of a crushing versus Astralis, Yanko. SK and Astralis, we saw a 16-14, a full 30 rounds, and then a 16-12 after that one. The Danes couldn't quite get over that hurdle, but I mean, you don't get much closer than a 16-14.
I think it's rather unfortunate for both Astralis and FaZe because in that series, Device was a bit quiet, and he has been really solid for his team throughout the year, right? So unfortunate that both of the oppers for teams didn't have the best performances in the series. I feel with that, they might have even taken those series, but we have to remember Astralis as well only made the roster change recently. They're putting the work in, and I think with time, they will only get better.
Yeah, and of course, we can have a quick look at their roster. Sam, as you continue to make that point, I want to bring up SK just to see how they have been looking. I mean, Fur is the name that we've been talking an awful lot about. It's great that we haven't fallen into the fallen Coldzera trap that sometimes we do.
Yeah, but the thing about SK is right now, none of the teams in this tournament had any operators really do anything. Device on Astralis was struggling.
Yeah.
Alu for FaZe was struggling. NiP barely even opted that series. We saw so little op frag from them. SK has Cold and Fallen though, and they're hitting on their shots. They're looking good with the op, and that's just a gigantic advantage that they're having.
Yeah, a huge weight off of their shoulders. Of course, now we have to remind you, there's not just the 5 names that are on stage with SK. There's also their quasi-coach, Dead, both manager and coach, and a bit of, sometimes a voice of reason for the Brazilians. Had a couple of moments to talk to Blue ahead of this grand final. It's going to be great to hear what he had to say.
All right, guys, so last time today, we're here in the backstage area once again, here with Dead. You're getting ready to play in the finals. Now, you don't know who you're going to be playing against yet. We still have the semifinal going on, but let's talk a little bit about the semifinal. You guys already played, and it seemed like you were like almost losing control of those maps both times, but both times you managed to bring it back. How do you guys do that?
We just keep it calm. All the rounds we were like, yeah, we're gonna win, we're gonna take that, and we're just playing round by round, especially on train.
All right, and I mean, keeping this really short, really simple, I have one question for you. Is it time for SK to be the champions again?
Yeah, we hope so. We got like 3 more tournaments to the end of the year. And our goal is to win like 2 of those 3. We can win like GIS1, or even if to be better, win both. Like GIS1, E-League, and ECS. That's our goal. So, but I'm pretty confident we can win this one.
All right. Well, of course, best of luck to you. We'll see how it pans out, and congratulations in advance if you guys are able to take it. For the time being, though, once again, it is time to go back to the Xfinity analyst desk. So over to you, Alex.
Thank you very much, Blue. Setting their sights and setting their targets quite high. SK giving themselves a little bit of a margin for error. 2 out of 3 will win, I guess. You know, we'll forego 1. Definitely got that victorious mindset. We'll be seeing if this one will be their grand final, of course, going up against NiP, though, who some of our analysts, in fact, I believe both of you here, Dazed and Yanko, have you got NiP to win this one?
Well, we did after yesterday's performance.
You certainly did.
I feel like I want to change my predictions after every BO3 I see, though.
Well, yeah, with you, Sam, we'll start with that. You've got them up on screen. However, you have had wavering faith on these guys. In fact, you wanted to change your prediction coming into that FaZe third map.
Yeah, I did, and I thought FaZe definitely had the opportunities to win. And the reason I wanted to is I had faith that Alu would really be a game changer there.
Yeah.
I think he had his opportunities. I think NiP is vulnerable to that, but unfortunately for my prediction, that did not happen, Alex.
And I'm so sorry, I was almost talking to you. What did you say? I didn't hear anything.
This is when we talk about, I'll help you out, Alex.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to NiP, the thing is, especially in the grand finals against SK, when it comes to the maps, we're probably going to see a 3-map series. You know, yes, going a bit ahead of ourselves, but it feels like it's going to be nuke and train, and seeing how dominant each team is on both of those respective maps. I think it's going to go down to a decider. Depending on what the decider is, it can go both ways. I think that, yes, NiP looked much better yesterday. They looked much more disciplined, much more cohesive, less mistakes. But SK has that X factor in a sense, right? They can just get into that 5th gear like we saw on Mirage even today. So it will be very interesting to see who performs in the grand final.
Yeah, and we will, of course, be jumping into that one after a break. Very shortly, in fact, we're going to be crowning our G Fuel MVP. That award will be attributed over on the stage in just a while. But before we do that, these teams have come a great deal of distance, not only to compete, but also through the tournament themselves. But someone else who has been a real fun journey to take part in is, of course, Dazed. We've been seeing you. Nice to see you on your desk debut. You've been absolutely rocking it. It's nice you've got a desk now. You've upgraded from our Burbank standing to here.
It's true.
And now we're going to actually have a quick look at you and your journey. You sat down with Yahoo Esports, so we're going to go ahead and take a little further and deeper look into Dazed.